So I was watching Cosmos. Two things I just fundamentally did not know. Because like most of the time I'm like, ooh, yeah, that, oh my God, that was gonna be amazing, right? Because
Right.
like that, because I'm enough of a nerd that it's usually just really fun, dynamic review.
Yeah.
But in each one of the first two episodes, there are two things that I had not considered or did not know that I'm going to share with you guys today. Dream, good morning. And sorry to everyone. I actually went live by accident trying to before getting Greg on here, which I mean that's not how any of this works. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm perplexed by what I'm finding here this morning. Hang on.
What's going on?
Oh man. Well, I don't know. I changed something in my settings last night, and
Like you do.
yeah, and I have been default loading into YouTube as #coffee, and this morning it was #me, and okay, I'm good now. I got this. Hey, we're on.
We are on.
I feel so alert and ready for the show.
Da-da-da-da,
Yes.
alert.
Okay. Slept an hour and a half. So
freaking nailed it.
mm-hmm.
All right. So I every day I ask Greg if he's caught up on devs yet.
No, I have not.
And every day Greg says that. He says that's what he says. Dave Myers is caught up on devs, and so we have a private chat where we're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like that. It's actually just me. He sounds a lot.
Morning, Andy Beals. Nice to see you.
Saner than that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's kind of Incredibles, and I want all you guys to watch it so we can discuss.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's that. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, sometimes you just gotta, be having fun or whatever you got going on there.
I believe Devs is on FX on Hulu. Is that correct?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep. I started the other night watching The Outsider, which is a HBO adaptation of a Stephen King book.
Okay.
And it's really, really good. And it got me super, super inspired. And I wrote 2,500 words last night, which hasn't happened in a while.
How'd that go?
It went really well. It's a thing I had written before that I needed to rewrite. And yeah.
What's it about?
Well, what inspired it was Stephen King did an interview about this about the book The Outsider, or about the adaptation of it. His stuff is always better when he's involved in the production of an adaptation of his work.
Yeah,
it tends to have good outcomes. And this is about a small Georgia town where a homicide investigator married has lost a child. It's ambiguous as to how they lost their child, but it sort of informs his whole outlook on the world and catching people to do bad things. And so a child who's maybe the same age as his son who died is brutally murdered, and they immediately develop a forensic and eyewitness case against a local teacher who's also a little league coach and a foundational member of their town, really great guy. They developed fingerprints, DNA, and video evidence of this guy covered in blood, in the vehicle that was used to abduct the child, on the child's body. And they arrest him. And while he's in custody, they also develop evidence that has DNA and fingerprints and video evidence that he was in a city 70 miles away from where the murder occurred at the time it occurred.
Okay.
So there's that problem. So what Stephen King said about it was he likes a story where a rational person, an otherwise thoughtful, rational, person is faced with a situation that's utterly impossible, that's utterly beyond the scope of reality, and how a person's mind copes with that dichotomy between reality and what's happening around them.
Right.
And it reminded me of something that I started writing like 10, 12 years ago. And the first thing happened was I had an idea for what if we did a documentary show which was an hour episode every week. Like, what if tomorrow morning we woke up and the headline was President releases all information related to UFOs, and it turns out aliens did visit us or crash a saucer in New Mexico in 1947. And you would interview a bunch of exobiologists and other people to say, how would the world change if tomorrow we knew that this was true?
Right.
Okay. And then we do one about Loch Ness, and we do one about, you do like an unsolved mystery show, but you solve it. In other words, you ask real scientists how the world would be changed by the information encapsulated in this idea that was always thought to be mythical or false being true. And of course, one of those would involve, guess what, Corey?
Sasquatch, for sure.
Yes. So that led me to thinking about a story where, what if there was a case where someone was killed and the cops had a pretty good case against a person that they thought did it. And it turns out that during the course of the investigation, they uncover evidence that in fact a Sasquatch was present at the place of the murder. And the defense's argument was our client did not commit this murder. Sasquatch killed this person. And it would unfold as a court case, as like a real investigation process and a court case. All right. You have to prove that the evidence that they present that Sasquatch was present at this killing was wrong, and it includes things like hair and fiber and blood and footprints at the scene of the crime. So that's what I've been writing on last night.
All right.
Yeah, Sasquatch
is real,
like it would be anything else.
All right. So I know I keep yelling at everyone to watch Devs. That said, beware, because the likelihood that you can have an existential crisis that does not go away.
Yeah, Corey's mental well-being took a real turn for the shitter yesterday.
Actually, I think it took a turn for the better yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I think the more I am prepared to question literally everything and drop literally everything and go meditate on top of a mountain, the better my life is going to be.
Okay.
Because then I have to come back around and say, okay, if I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to choose this actively. I'm not just going to do it automatically. I'm not going to think about it. It goes back to that, the reanalyzing cost benefit and ratios all the time, that kind of thing. So yeah, no, I think it was very, very good. And like, yeah, I'm already thinking about things in a sort of a more intentional way, which I think is good.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing that very, I think, rationally will just make you feel like none of this has any meaning in any way, shape, or form, period. And it probably doesn't. So that's fun. Okay, end of the depressing shit. Here's what the new show I want to tell everyone to go watch so that we can discuss. Fucking Cosmos is out again.
Is this like new versions of the Neil deGrasse Tyson Cosmos?
No, it's like fucking season 2 of Neil deGrasse Tyson doing Cosmos, updated 10 years later.
Really?
Oh yeah. And
where is this at?
On the interwebs that I'm sharing with 1 million of my closest friends.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where they posted it.
Huh.
Or where they whatever. Bob Benson, good morning.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. It's running on. I found it on HBO, The Outsider.
Cool.
If anyone wants to check it, it's really good. And not all, Stephen King's works adapted for TV and movies are hit and miss. They're not all great. This is a really good adaptation of his stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all sort of brand new, and they're going over. Well, it's called Possible Worlds or whatever, right? So like it's sort of revamping. It's like the same. They're doing the same kind of thing, but they're talking about a totally different stuff.
Gotcha.
Which is super fun. And in the first episode, they talk about they're talking about telescopes and sort of the history of where they came from, kind of tangentially embedded in the narrative that they're talking about. But they talk about, and I think I read something about this a long time ago, but never really thought about it. They talk about a gravitational lensing telescope.
Yes.
So, which I had never really paid too much attention to this. So you basically go out to get a giant light collecting aperture, say 50 meters or 100 meters or whatever across, right?
Right.
And you put it at a Lagrange point in effectively solar stationary orbit, right? Or even just in solar orbit for that matter, so that you can get 360 degrees. But you use the sun as the gravitational lens. So as opposed to using a piece of glass that you basically bends light and collects a lot more light into a tiny little point, you're using the gravitational lensing of the sun itself, and you can see 100 billion times farther than the best telescope we have.
That's such an insanely large number. I don't think it's
Right.
possible to get it in
Okay,
your
so
head.
right, so we're like kind of seeing planets now, right? We're sort of seeing planets, and we're really only seeing planets because of the 1% drop in light coming from certain stars or whatever.
Right.
With this telescope, you could see fucking trees on mountains on those planets. Like legit, like it's
Yeah.
that much better. It's completely insane. Yeah. So I had never really thought about it in those terms before. Like I know what gravitational lensing is, but I had never really pieced together that wait a minute, you could use that concept to build the mother of all telescopes.
Right.
So in the same episode, they're talking about the Albuquerque drive, which is that Mexican mathematician that came up with like an actual warp drive, where you can. I think we've talked about this before. So basically proved all the math and said, hey, listen, like you can actually go faster than light. Because you can create the situation where space is moving, you're not, right? And
it creates a bubble around the spacecraft and kind of pulls it forward into a black hole.
Right, not a black hole at all.
Why did I think it was like a singularity in front of the ship that pulled it forward?
It's definitely not a singularity, but it is gravitational warping of space-time. So you're basically you're creating a low pressure. Think of it, it's not quite this way, but a low pressure zone in the front and a high pressure zone in the back,
right?
That basically just kind of yanks you through space-time in a way that this guy proved was doable, right? And mathematicians all over the world, like anytime a guy puts an article out like that, you're like, okay, fucko, whatever. Like that sounds.
Where's my chalkboard?
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't wait for the real physicist to attack you, because you're gonna end up looking like an idiot. And then the real physicist looked at it like, nope, this math checks out, and everyone was like, wait, what? It's amazing. So a couple of years ago, there was a physicist that actually showed that you would not actually need an entire solar system's worth of energy. Or like I think it was the actual compressed energy of all of Jupiter would be required to make this thing work. Obviously, that's not super feasible, but somebody showed that you could actually pull the amount of energy usage down by 2 orders of magnitude or more. Like something that would be well within sort of like if we could figure out like a 0 point energy kind of thing where you're pulling energy right out of space time,
right?
Which again is theoretically possible. Then we could make that work. But where all that got interesting is you could actually go out to like the whole episode started with this human culture in China that basically was like, hey, it's getting kind of busy here, and they created boats and they go to Taiwan. Taiwan gets really, really busy or really crowded, and they're okay, well, screw it, we're gonna go off, and they populate the Philippines and ultimately get to Hawaii and that whole thing, right? And they did it without any metal nails. Like they did it on fucking rafts, for fuck's sake. Like it was pretty intense. So that kind of human beings wanting to go out there and actually explore and do all these crazy things. So what happens if you go out? I think that was what, like 100,000 years ago, maybe something like that, right?
Oh, it's a lot less than that.
It was a lot. Okay,
a lot less than that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say 50,000 years ago. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like less than 20,000 years for sure.
That the Philippines were
Yes.
I would put money on that for fun.
The Americas, we're pretty sure the Americas were not inhabited until 15,000 years ago, and that was by land bridge. I'm pretty sure that the Polynesian explosion you're talking about came much later.
Let's fucking Google that shit.
Yeah. I'll let you Google.
I'll say, so I'll just go straight to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, you're totally right. It's about 400 AD. So, okay, that's even, or 400 to 1,000 AD. So let's just call it 1,000 AD just for fun. I thought it was way earlier. Fucking great. Nope. Schooled me on that shit. Okay. So you go to a star that is 1,000 light years away with your Albuquerque drive. You make a telescope, you point it back at the Earth, and you watch them leave. You watch them leave an island in the Polynesians and go for Hawaii. And with a telescope like this, you could watch it happen.
I need a moment.
Okay, so let me retrace.
How have you traveled backward in time?
You didn't. The light takes a lot longer than your faster than light Albuquerque drive.
Holy shit!
Right. So they suggested that you could go 100 billion light years with this thing in a relatively short period of time. You could go 1,000 light years in about a week, right? So you get out there, you set this telescope up, you point it at the Earth.
I get the description. So the analogy would be you stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon and you yell hello, and you travel to the far side of the canyon
faster than
the sound, so you
right.
can hear it when it gets there.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. So again, this is the thing. You could watch all of human history.
Wow.
Yep.
That's extraordinary. Yeah, Greg has his own name this morning. Yeah, I'm on my account. Corey's hosting this morning. I've been hosting on the coffee account because it's the paid account where we can stream it and stuff. And I don't have that, so I'm able to join on mine and have my name be correct. So that's a cool thing. Mike Sylvester reminds us all Sasquatches are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I like that.
You could fast forward over the boring parts by heading earthward. That's funny. Yep, that's totally true.
I'm not sure where is here for Warren Ruddle.
In Canada.
Okay. The indigenous people here have a distinct DNA that is only from Turtle Island.
Yeah, where are you right now, Warren?
That's what I just asked.
No, I know, but specifically, I know he's in Canada. But Canada's big. Sorry. Sorry. So that one's cool. That is not the thing that surprised me most out of the two data points I wanted to share from the two first episodes.
Well, that one just kind of broke my brain for a moment there.
Wait till you hear this one.
Okay.
So
I love this stuff.
Yeah. It's good shit. I fucking miss Cosmos a lot. So, and we're gonna
Regina.
have. Oh, Regina. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you giggling at Regina?
Yes.
Come on, man.
No, not like that. Not like that. Although close.
Yeah. I'm 12. So that's
hold on, because I can actually do this now. I'm gonna save that for. I'm not gonna forget about that. So this is real. And in season 8 of Letterkenny, they're like talking about some team from Regina, and one of the sort of fake hockey announcers they got going up starts giggling. He's like, "You're thinking about it, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah." and it cuts to the tourism board of Saskatchewan presents. It's so bad. Oh God, it's so bad.
Regina, experience Regina, Regina, experience Regina, Regina, experience Regina.
It's
That's
so
awesome.
good. Oh, it hurts.
Now you won't be able to stop singing that. I'm gonna be walking around thinking, Regina.
Yeah. So the second I heard you say that word, that started playing in my head.
I see. Okay. So you're telling us that the Turtle Island people from Saskatchewan have distinct DNA that is only from there. How is that?
How's that possible?
They have to have been isolated from all the other human contact for a long time for that to happen.
Or they a secure enough group of them have it so that the markers are still tagged.
Oh, right. They didn't. They remained like an island, an evolutionary island, is how that would happen.
Yes.
Interesting. What in all hell? Yeah, Jen Rakita. That's from Letterkenny, which is a show about
that's real.
It's a documentary about a little Canadian town. Wait, no, get out of here.
No, I'm fucking telling you, dude. That's an actual thing that the Tourism Board of Regina put out.
I don't believe that.
Google that shit.
They've made other videos on that show that looked.
I know. That
okay.
It's under the account Tourist Board Saskatchewan.
Okay. Oh, all the Americas we refer to as Turtle Island. Is that true? I've never heard that before.
I hadn't either.
Oh.
So just found this because of Letterkenny. Letterkenny made the song 1000% more famous. This is
really
some of the comments on this. This advert was a perfect balance of what a Regina offers. All the bells and whistles of what a bigger city offers, but played in a flat key.
And with a garage band, a dude with an afro and a garage band. Yeah. So
oh, it's too good. Anyway, all right. So
all right. So wait, did we get to the second data point? That was even more shocking than the first one.
No.
Okay.
So we covered this. So I think on one of the shows that we did, science shows, the Starshot program actually got $100 million worth of funding.
Regina.
Right? You can't stop now. And Stephen Hawking actually organized putting a bunch of money up for this, and it was funded, and we're super excited about it. So you create a swarm of tiny little ships. The actual ship itself weighs less than a gram. And it's got a sail, like a light sail, right? And the whole idea is you make a swarm of these things, you get an Earth-based laser, and you punch these things with the laser, and they start to accelerate. Everyone's really happy. It goes to Andromeda, and we get to sort of the first star. And the reason you send a swarm is there's interstellar dust particles that will basically destroy whatever they come into contact with. So you sort of do it in a decentralized way. Here's what I didn't know. The whole idea is they and we knew this. They want to accelerate these things up to 20% of the speed of light. Cool. What I didn't know is they plan on accelerating these things up to 20% of the speed of light in minutes. Yeah, that face. So guess how long it will take them to overtake the distance of the Voyager spacecraft, which is now basically in interstellar space.
Oh, not long.
Just take a guess.
12 minutes.
Well, it's 4 days. Don't get fucking crazy. But still, it took we kicked that thing off Earth in
40 years ago.
1977.
Yeah.
So yeah, fucking 4 days.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, 12 minutes, dude. 12 minutes. You can't even get to the sun in 12 minutes.
All right, whatever.
At the speed of light.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it like I think it's like 8 or 9 minutes, but somewhere in there. Yeah, Jupiter I think takes hours.
Right.
Anyway. So there you go.
Thank you for the world's worst earworm.
Yeah.
Yes. Or is it the best earworm?
Yes.
They have a lot of there's a fine line between the best and the worst earworm. Like the worst one for me, lollipop. What up, bump, bump, lollipop, lollipop. Oh, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All day. You'll be standing there at the kitchen sink doing dishes and it'll go boom, 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 right through your head, and you won't ever be able to stop.
Regina! Experience Regina!
Regina is the capital city of Saskatchewan with around 200,000 people and a devotion to ecology that has resulted in a system of over 100 parks. City Hall is part of a cluster of modern buildings in the downtown area. It's a highly livable city that pulses with the energy of dynamic business leaders.
It pulses with the energy of dynamic
Giant
business.
Plains Museum preserve and interpret the cultural, social, and economic development of the area.
Well, slap bass. Oh, here comes the breakdown.
Oh, bass solo. Pause for a second.
Okay. This is like the best version of OK Stop we've ever done.
So I'm looking at the things that are linked on the right-hand column there. There's a bunch of Minecraft stuff. That's me. You're welcome. But at the top, behind the music of Experience Regina, there's actually, is that like a making of documentary about this song? Is that?
I hope so, because we're gonna have to do that for sure.
Oh my god!
Just rock it. This seriously looks like it's from 80s Max. That guy's died.
Regina.
What is
Experience Regina. Regina.
a baby with a gun?
Experience Regina. Regina. Experience Regina. Regina. Regina.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
No, please don't make it play again. What are you looking at?
There's something in there that like shouldn't be there. Watch.
Experience Regina.
What the fuck was that?
It was not it was an X over the vagina, or reproductive system, which includes the vagina. So.
No, it was an X to
Okay.
it. It's not vagina. It's vagina.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can't believe that was actually in there.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing? Are you really gonna do this?
I mean,
of Saskatchewan to create a song that would inspire people across the country.
I mean, if we're gonna get kicked off YouTube, this is probably a good
I
reason.
gotta tell you, you guys have a sound that is
this
amazing.
is a total skit.
Wow.
All
Hey,
right.
coming from you.
Okay.
Well done with your skit, weirdos. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
they're Canadian, so they have to be funny. It's the law.
Oh, that's why I had to leave. They kicked me out. I couldn't skate, and I'm not funny. They're like, get the fuck out. I'm like, all right.
All right. You can unshare
Wow.
that screen now, I guess. But
Oh yeah, not
and Jeannie. Oh, that's our comments.
not vagina.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was good shit.
Jen says she thought that said Snatch Street for a second.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh my goodness. Well, they could have just talked to the Tragically Hip and gotten a song written for them, because they wrote songs about most other Canadian cities. Come on, man.
I mean, honestly, creating an immortal cunt. Wow. excuse my French. Cult classic.
Yeah,
I can English.
I'm sure you meant
Jesus.
that.
Yep. Whew.
Well, this show has certainly taken a strange turn.
It did take a turn. So we have every once in a while I click on the comments that like get left after the shows.
Right.
Wendy Love, who actually donated to the show. If you're watching this, you can do that at solocal.live/donate. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, Wendy Love.
Yeah, she never watches live, but she comments later on. Anyway, she said she started laughing at you, giggling over firm hard study, little boys. And thank you. Yeah, that checks out. Lily Prairie Moon said, this is the first time I've heard the pantyhose thing brought up by anyone but me. They jumped out at me immediately. Everyone wore pantyhose back then. So this is good. This is why it's really awesome that we have a lot of women who watch this show, because we fucking don't know any of that shit.
In fact, yesterday I was
I don't
listening to the Pod Save America show from 3 days ago, and they did an interview with one of the journalists that's been covering the Tara Reid allegation against Joe Biden. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's worth a listen. I don't want to unpack it, because they are four dudes who make a podcast, and they want to make sure that they're not caught up in their own male privilege heads in the way they look at this. So they invited one of the women journalists who's broken that story to come on and talk about how do we talk about this without feeling like we're betraying the Me Too movement. And it was a really interesting conversation. So we have a lot to learn from the women in our circle.
Oh yeah, much to the gratitude.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad they don't pronounce Virginia the same way. Virginia.
Experience Virginia. We should just make a
That
cover.
would be Experience Virginia.
Virginia.
pronounce it the same way as
Virginia.
Regina.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I want to see Manitoba top that. Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Manitoba, gateway to North Dakota would be how they.
That's so sad.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe they had a freaking uterus in there. Anyways, so hey, by the way, we have 187 subscribers. We're like within shooting distance of 200.
Dang, we've picked up a few.
Someday we'll have 200.
Yep.
And then
we can monetize this right before the total economic collapse and apocalyptic
I think it's
Road Warrior type hellscape that's coming.
Right. Yeah, about 3 years from now, I think.
Yes.
That checks out. Speaking of which, I wonder where the Dow's up time a little bit.
Regina, the place that rhymes with fun. Oh my goodness.
That's good shit. That's interesting. The market is acting like it wants to trend up, and I just fundamentally do not believe it.
What was you sent me a link this morning. Inside Starshot. Oh, is that the
that's the
little, I get you.
Yeah, that's the details on it. Again, like that article's cool, but the watch Cosmos. Because
I didn't realize they were making new seasons of Cosmos.
Yeah, so they just released it a little while ago.
I gotta figure out how I can watch that because I think the first season of it is on Disney Plus, National Geographic Channel. I think
it is. Yeah, it is Nat Geo. I wonder if the second one's on Nat Geo too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check right after we're done with the show. Nice.
Has anyone tried the Messenger desktop app? Do I want that?
I don't know. It opens as a window in Facebook for me. There's a Messenger app.
Yeah, I just saw an ad for it. Download it. Use it in the App Store. The fuck is the App Store? Oh, the Microsoft App Store. Do I want that? I'm sorry. This is a terrible. This is a terrible show. Hey, what are you guys doing? I'm like, well, Corey's looking through the Microsoft App Store like a fucking idiot.
Anybody else read the Reuters article about the aircraft carrier? Are we talking about the TR, the Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah, I haven't read anything recent, but I did just see a post that there's a lot of evidence now that he didn't send it to anywhere near as many people as they were accusing him of. Stone Kettle actually said that. The captain.
Oh, the message. Well, I think what Ginny's referring to is the article that said that 60% of the crew that was tested positive and were asymptomatic.
So that's
like 60 to 80%.
Right. We used to think that like you're asymptomatic for a couple of weeks and then you become symptomatic, and that's a problem.
And
if half your population, if half your population is just carriers, that blows the doors off all of the numbers in a way that is not good. Dave Myers, good morning. Yeah, I've already been talking about it. Almost nobody's caught up with us yet, I think.
Jen says it's not that much different other than it's easier to do group chats, which we do quite a few of, so it might be worth
true.
Looking into that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna DL that Shiznet. See what happens.
Cool.
And it's free. Yeah, I don't know. I like having my computer back.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna
Minecraft today.
Michelle actually took today off.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hang out with her all day.
I
mean,
Regina. I can't. This is what happens when Greg wakes up 10 minutes before showtime.
So yeah, Dave said I didn't get a notification and it's not showing you're on through my subscription. Weird. Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
That is weird. I don't know how to help with that. We should probably Google that at some point.
Yeah.
Because that happens sporadically to everyone, basically.
Yep, 60% of them of those tested were asymptomatic. Oof, that's kind of terrifying.
It's not good.
When you add that to the number of false negative tests or inconclusive tests that we're finding out have been done, it makes our weak and awful testing regime even worse.
Not ideal.
And Florida's in the news because only 3% of all unemployment claims have been processed at this point. And we also, last night, we've had in Florida alone, more cases of COVID-19 than South Korea. And we have about half of their population.
And we're not going to really slow down. I'm more convinced than ever. Like the second that Fred started talking about the fact that there's a peak, and again, he's looking at the data, but he didn't look at the amount of tests that were being done. And even on the CDC's website, testing is down. You know, almost commensurate with the supposed flattening in the curve. And yeah, I was telling Greg, I can't remember this morning or whatever, but my 50 little brush fires theory from a week and a half ago is proving true already.
Yeah, we know for sure now that the nursing home problem is far worse than we had been led to believe. Like I want to be careful with that because we've been saying we felt like there were going to be real problems in nursing homes, and it's turning out that that's definitely happening. So the best way to lower the number, Corey, is just not to test people.
Yeah. That's the thing. Now, are you going to lose a few 100,000 people to what's the word, death? Yeah, but you know, probably not you and anyone close to you because you get the best healthcare in the world.
Right. Dave says I've gone into full dad mode. I'm super excited that I just bought a new lawnmower. My weekend will be lit, yo. And then Trump is buying him a new pool liner. So barbecue at my place after the Black Death goes away. Be down for that. I'd like to do that. Business money herder. Yeah. Hearing some horrific stories about nursing home outbreaks too. Yeah, that's Boxer Cat. That's her friend. She says over 90 nursing home outbreaks in Colorado, not cases, but outbreaks just in Colorado. So that's a frighteningly large number. And Florida has a lot more nursing homes than Colorado. Holy moly, Florida finally adjusted the unemployment website, and we no longer need to do an actively seeking work reporting requirement. You had to try and log on and update that you were seeking work every week, and you can't even get through to file, let alone to follow up. Or it's and that's not an accident. P.S. That's that Rick Scott's gubernatorial administration did that. I have family and friends that work in law enforcement, criminal justice, mental health counseling, environmental protection. And all of them tell me that regulation was gutted. All the oversight and regulation was gutted during the Rick Scott administration of Florida. So we're now paying the price for all that money we saved and spent on tax breaks for big businesses to move here. So good job, us.
Good times.
Hey. Jareen says, I'm nervous. We are almost out of milk for the toddler. I'm going to have to brave the store today. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you could do delivery. I wish everyone could do delivery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, our governor just announced they're rolling out a plan for people who are on EBT to be able to do home grocery delivery sometime later in April.
Yeah,
which is very helpful to those of us that are on SNAP and have risk factors. I was at Winn-Dixie yesterday, and I was glad to see they had a guy at the door giving out, handy wipes, masked up, giving out handy wipes and Clorox wipes for people to wipe down carts and things like that right at the door. Yeah, Dave Meyer. So by that rationale, this becomes Schrodinger's virus to Trump supporters. Either the hospitals were overinflating the numbers or they're not testing at all to lower the numbers. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it would be really amazing time to be alive if we could count on our government for accurate information about what's happening. And I would remind people that we had that 4 or 5 years ago, that they would tell us what the bad news was.
Right. And that's the thing that I was listening to a bunch of TED Talks yesterday. There's a really, really good one about how to actually get back, like how to go back to work, and it's all massively ramped up testing, like doing about 10 million tests a day, and doing full contact tracing and right, like just like actually getting that right, which again we could do. That's not an impossible thing for this country to accomplish with appropriate leadership, which of course will never come, right? Like that's the thing. Like
right, we won't do the appropriate things before opening up.
That's exactly it. Like that, these ideas are well, I think they probably will get ramped up in what will soon become the Northwestern Protectorate, as an example, or
Pacifica.
the right, yeah, the northeastern United States, which is going to become its own country in 50 years.
Yes.
Like states are having to coordinate in a way that the United States was designed to coordinate. That's what it's fucking there for. But there's just simply no leadership. So like, okay, well, all of these states are going to be affected each other, locally or whatever. So they're just creating these things. So, I think that's where I'm looking for these things to actually happen. But, it's where you're doing all the contact tracing. You're having places for people to go that aren't home if they're positive, because that's a huge thing that they did. Anyway, there's like tons of these ideas that just nationally are never going to happen. And I listened to one with Bill Gates. I actually want to go back and watch his TED Talk. I remember watching his TED Talk in 2015 about pandemics and be like, this is probably not good.
Right.
And people are saying like, we keep going back to that TED Talk, and like literally, you described exactly what was going to happen in real time. So did anyone take your advice seriously? And he starts laughing. No. No.
Meanwhile, down here, we're going to be like, Mockingjay District 9. I volunteer as tribute. Can you imagine the Red South as an enclave nation?
No.
Oh.
That would suck.
I don't know. Maybe it leads to a failure of voter apathy if people think they can affect their regional government more than they can their federal government.
I mean, if Wisconsin is any clue, maybe that's true, right? Like the Democrats fucking slayed in Wisconsin, and they literally risked their lives to make it happen, which is pretty nuts. But I mean,
well, they had some harsh lessons from the last 4 years with Scott Walker, and company. So,
yeah, Trump was fawning about Birx and Fauci yesterday. I wonder who got through to him. I mean, that's
no, they just said something he liked.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The day before, Fauci was sucking up, and I'm not sure that Birx has ever stopped.
Right.
So, yeah, I was seeing stuff where like people aren't going to be able to take anything Fauci says as gospel ever again from what he was saying the other day. I didn't see it, so I don't really know. But and that's the thing. It's such a tough thing. We're better off that he's there. But like the amount of bullshit he has to wade in.
Yeah.
It sooner or later it's gonna destroy everyone's credibility that's there, right? So like you sort of I think your usefulness ends up getting used up.
It's
just incredible.
November 3rd.
Good times.
November 3rd.
Legit.
Speaking of my new lawnmower, we should be looking to spend money locally as much as possible. I intentionally bought it from a local place to help smaller business. Paid more than the Lowe's, but oh well. I like that idea.
Yeah. Michelle and I are talking about her maybe trying to retire in 8 years on like almost nothing. She came up to me and said like, what would happen if we tried to save as much as we could possibly save, and then like I retire early, and if you can make some money and make music, that's great, but we either get a little van or a sailboat and live hyper simply and just on whatever we can.
Right.
And I'm like, you married the right dude.
Yeah.
I would go do that right now.
Nice. In Oklahoma news, challenger Abby Broyles has out fundraised Inhofe.
Fuck yes.
That's a good.
Dude, I saw something that black dude that's going up against Lindsey Graham apparently is ahead in the polls now.
Yep.
Like,
I think this could be a bloodbath. I still, if we manage to have elections, I think this could be a bloodbath. And Democrats are far more registered for mail-in voting now than Republicans nationally. So,
assuming they don't destroy the post office.
Yep. Corey and Babs living in a 1987 Chevy Astra van coming to a city near you.
Legit.
Down by the river.
Yeah, we'll park it down by the river just so we can take snapshots. We're like, yeah. Experience for China.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Dude. Oh, I think I might start Letterkenny from the beginning. And if I do, I want to apologize to my family here for just the ear smashing of
can confirm
jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sue, why does that not surprise me at all? I love my Chevy van, shag rug and all.
I'll bet you Sue had a Chevy van just because of that song from the 70s.
Oh, maybe.
Remember the song Chevy Van from the 70s?
No,
No,
I
you
don't.
won't remember that.
I remembered that
So,
it was a thing. I don't remember it at all.
Yep.
Now, granted, I don't think if you even asked me about songs I do know about, I probably wouldn't be able to remember them because all I can think of is Regina.
Oh, let me tell you a thing that I got last night that I wish I could share with all of you, but I can't. If you go on Facebook and you look for WMNF, which is our local community radio station in Tampa, they did a 2.5-hour tribute to John Prine with all local live musicians playing John Prine songs and tributes to John Prine. And Julie sent me about 2:00 this morning. Julie sent me one of their songs from that set, and it was them doing "Angel from Montgomery." And I've heard a million versions of that song, but Julie has exactly the right voice for it. It was uncanny and beautiful. So if you want to watch the whole concert, you probably should. But Dave and Julie did a live performance for WMNF in their tribute to John Prine, and they did a smashing good version of Angel from Montgomery. So you should check that out.
They're so good.
Yeah. The older I get, the more a log cabin in the woods appeals to me. The Unabomber had it at least partially right. I mean, aside from the killing and maiming and such, the log cabin is cool though. Yeah, I could live off in the distance. I could live off in the
especially when we have a Starlink box. Michelle and her brother talk about his Pat's wife has family in Tennessee. We went up there a little bit in the mountains and stuff. It was great being around that many Trump supporters. Was not, but if you're out in the woods, you're out in the woods. So they keep trying to convince me we should go, buy a chunk of land out behind a couple of mountains somewhere and just start building tiny houses. Like, I could be sold on that.
Yep, I definitely could.
I've been thinking too, like maybe
I feel like as long as I have an internet connection,
right,
I'll
like
go anywhere.
Because like as far as like income wise, I am useless, right? So I'm thinking, okay, so if she's thinking about doing this in 8 years, how do I figure out, if we're seriously thinking about trying to live on like $1,000 to $2,000 a month or whatever, right?
Right.
What could I do that would be like, we're moving every single week. Obviously, we sort of maintain an internet connection, and try and maintain that, right? So obviously, like building this show up over 8 years, that's a thing, and
right.
So that I think is sort of on my short list, especially if we start interviewing more politicians, but start interviewing like science writers, and like I started thinking about how can we make this show so that I feel like we're super excited to come to work every day,
right?
Because that's a thing we can figure out how to do. Then I was also the last time I did a music set, there was like a lot more people that dug it as than I thought there would be, right? And I can't really get gigs everywhere necessarily, but what I could do is just say, okay, well, Friday night it's gig night, and maybe like start a Patreon, and only Patreon supporters are allowed to come to it or something. And I don't know if people would just like think that was dumb because it should be free or what. What do you think?
I don't know.
Is that dumb?
No, I don't think so. I just don't know. I think all of our revenue models for things like this are going to get changed again. And I think that everybody's going to figure out they can do what we're doing right now. It's going to become like everybody has a blog, I have a feeling.
That's the thing. Like they're like, from the time that everybody started doing a blog, there's 100 times more people that are doing only that. Right. And making money doing it, right? So like the number of people that are making money doing it, it's always about execution.
Yes.
Which we're definitely not great at as far as like turning it into something where money comes in the other side of it.
No, we're really not.
But I got 8 years to figure it out. So there's that.
Yeah. Dang, I can't find the thing.
Dave said I've been watching a lot of Life Below Zero. We actually watch that too sometimes in Mountain Men. So I'm totes ready to move to a log cabin and fight wolves bare chested. I believe that.
Nice.
Can confirm.
Wait, who are we talking about? I put her up there with like Lana Del Rey and Janis Joplin. I hold her in high regard. Are we talking about Julie Black?
Oh,
or somebody else?
No, that would make sense if they're talking about that. That checks out for me. If it's Julie.
Yeah, and she's getting I don't know if it's just lately she has a rasp in her voice when she does Angel from Montgomery, which is perfect because it's an old woman. The voice of the song is an older woman, and it was breathtaking. I'm sitting here at 2 o'clock in the morning, tears running down my face. It was shockingly good. Yeah, Julie Black for sure. We're very lucky to have artists of that. And Dave, it's easy to underestimate Dave because he sits quietly in the corner and makes awesome shit come out of his guitar amp.
Dude.
Robert Fripp style, and that's I think you would think that was a compliment because that's that's kind of how he thinks about music. So he came from this real prog rock background into a blues band, and it shouldn't work, but it totally does.
He makes it work. Yeah, I say this about them all the time. They're both better than me. Like, he is a much better guitar player. I think she is a much better vocalist. And it is an absolute joy to watch them work.
It made me very happy to get the three of you in a room together to play live music one time. That was good stuff.
I only got to jam with them like a couple times when they came out to whatever that place is called now.
I don't know. Didn't they come up to your house and do a thing like we did with Alex, where they were up at your house in Hudson and talked and played music for an hour or so? I thought for sure we did one of those.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we definitely did that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, because you and Julie had a great conversation about the muse and about creative output. And yeah, absolutely. I don't know where that video lives. I know the one of you and Alex and me playing, which is maybe the only video that exists anywhere of me playing guitar with other people. We did that at your house for sure.
I'm pretty sure they're all on Facebook somewhere. I'm sort of waiting for this time where Facebook lets you search indexed video in context, because they've managed to semantically take all that down, so we could just be like, hey Facebook, could you go find that video, and like it just it's already popped it up. Like, I think that's less than 5 years away between you, me, and the fish.
Yeah,
because they've got all the data, right? It's just a matter of crunching it all, which they want to do for 18 million different kind of reasons, most of them nefarious.
I've caught somebody. I've caught myself wondering the last day or two if South Carolina is going to be open by late June, because somebody wants to take me to Charleston for my birthday this year.
By late June?
Yeah,
I wouldn't put money on it.
Right in the heart of hurricane season. That's when you want to go. The Atlantic coast.
Can you imagine they open South Carolina up and just get smashed by a hurricane? Like, oh,
right.
Come on, 2020, settle down.
Yeah, I made some noise about a restaurant there that I want to go to in Charleston, and there's a chef there named Sean Brock, and I've watched a lot of stuff about Sean Brock on the shows that I watch are not cooking shows; they're actually like food culture shows and chef shows. So there's a show called Mind of a Chef, and it was produced in part by Anthony Bourdain, and of course there's Anthony Bourdain's show, and they all feature Sean Brock when they talk about amazing regional cuisine. And so Sean Brock is sort of a hero, and I was being very effusive in my praise of the way he approaches food, and I want to go there. So somebody wants to take me to Charleston to eat a husk for my birthday this year, and I'm hoping we make that happen.
I had a guy message me last night and say, hey, listen, I'm writing a book about that's in Elon Musk's Martian colony in 2040. How many people, he asked me, like, how many people do you think there will be there by 2040?
5,000.
5,000? Okay.
Yeah.
This is presuming that he gets there at 2030.
Right.
And I think he's actually going to have boots on the ground sooner than that, like 2028, maybe 2026. But you think 5,000, huh?
Yeah, I do.
So only 50 trips with 50 BFRs. So I said 500,000 to 1 million.
See, but there's some of those rocket trips are going to have to be massive amounts of sustainability supplies.
Agreed.
Food,
but
fuel,
he wants to get up
materials.
To the point where they're making a BFR every single day.
Right.
So that's like astronomically low. 5,000. They could have 5,000. If he gets there 26, they could have 5,000 before 32.
Right.
And then it's just geometric after that.
Yeah, but logistically, sustaining that many people is going to be incredibly challenging for the first decade.
you're right, but I think because of the way the manufacturing works, and the plans that they have, like that's definitely you're right. That's the linchpin, right? Like, how do you get a 3D printer that basically goes down there and can print the stuff that you need, and they have to figure out ways to break the soil down.
Right.
But at the same time, like you could have a supply train that would put it down to the 500,000 number, but where you're just getting all your supplies from the earth. Like the BFR is going to be cheap enough that you could kind of do that. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, and Red Mars lays out how that would happen, and there's a whole lot of robotic manufacturing, like creating carbon fiber for building materials on site, concrete made by machines on site. So basically engineers just have to tell it where to put it,
right. And that's sort of like Elon Musk is playing with those ideas now with all of his factories, right?
Right.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, Corey, you should earn money by teaching guitar lessons to kids online. Corey's frustrated with grown adults who don't play well, so I'm not.
No, I honestly like teaching kids would be fun. I just think there's a lot better people that are out there doing that than me.
Interesting.
But yeah, I can maybe try and figure out how to play ukulele and then teach Dave.
Dave Myers, yeah. I've spent the last couple of weeks trying to figure out how to ukulele. I have a whole new respect for guitar players. Coincidentally, it also made me realize what a ridiculous idea it was to buy a ukulele. Yeah. There you go. Just send some terraforming equipment out there. I hear the Nostromo is available for a cargo trip.
What is a Nostromo?
Alien. It's the spaceship from Alien.
Yep. Well
Come on.
I did not know that. Oh, I've seen Alien.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't remember what the fucking name of that boat was called.
Man, I'll tell you what you should watch. You should watch the documentary Memory, the making of Alien, how that movie came into being.
Okay.
It's outrageously good. It's like a 2.5-hour documentary about the history of the making of that film. And it's super, super good. Like, yeah, shockingly good.
All right.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
So the next question this guy asked me is like, how many indentured servants do you think there would be? I said, fucking 0. It'll be 0. Here's why it'll be 0. You know how much it costs to send 60 robots up to Mars? About as much as it costs to send one person.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's literally not going to be any point at all to bring an oxygen, carbon sucking biological entity up there as a fucking servant. In my humble opinion.
Well, I guess we'll see. Oh, Ginny says Fender is offering free online guitar and ukulele lessons. Dave Myers.
Get after that. That's the thing. Like there's if I was going to learn how to play guitar again, I would just go straight to YouTube. And there's like 50 million lessons.
And really good ones too. People teach you specific chord patterns for songs.
Much better than
them moving their hands and showing you how to play the song, repeating it over and over again.
Yeah. People with
That's
actual
how I learned
I
haven't learned the whole thing, but Sweet Melissa by the Allman Brothers. That's how I picked that one up, is watching a really good tutorial video about 5,000 times. Yes. Oh, so we made it to 11 o'clock.
We did it. We made it.
Means I can go back to bed soon. I'm running on 2 hours sleep today, which is not adequate. Did we lose your audio?
Hello?
I lost your audio. Let me try plugging my thing back in here.
Checkity. Seems like there's still audio. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Weird.
All right. I've actually been watching videos about learning how to kite surf.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been watching videos about making a villager breeder in Minecraft.
Nerd.
Yeah, I spawned out on a jungle island that doesn't have any villages anywhere nearby. So I'm going to have to create villagers. And I'm learning how to make all the crazy redstone. Oh, here's a funny thing that happened. So I have a client who I'm seeing for counseling, and she has a 10-year-old. And last night we were talking about what he does with his spare time. He plays a lot of Minecraft, and she says, And it makes me crazy. He watches other people play Minecraft on YouTube videos. And I was like,
And
oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
I'm really- all right, you know, yeah, I do the same thing. There's this guys that I watch on this thing called Hermitcraft, and one of them is this guy named Mumbo Jumbo. And she goes, what? And I said, Mumbo Jumbo. And she goes, oh my God, my son follows Mumbo Jumbo on YouTube. So
unreal.
yeah, he's very excited that an otherwise appearing functional adult is watching the same videos as he's watching. So I thought that was cool. All right. Regina. God damn it. That's going to be in my head all day.
It's so good.
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, man, if you want a bunch of like oddly hyper intelligent laughs, at least some of the time.
Yeah, but it's also interspersed with a whole lot of dick jokes, fart jokes,
yes,
ball sack jokes.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
All of that does exist.
Yeah, I'm annoyed by the goth dudes. I find that part of the show annoying.
Why?
They just annoy me.
Okay.
Why?
Fucking skids.
Yeah.
Degens.
Kids.
I mean, that is why they're there.
All right. Yeah. What's your plan for today?
Hang out with Babs. She took the day off.
I bet you
she's got to do.
Well, okay, maybe not better, but
yeah, she's got to do an online convention situation tomorrow and Sunday.
Nice.
Which means we might be screwed again for church, unless we did it much later. I think she's using the computer till 3.
Yeah, we could do it later in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm baking a ham
like
today,
you do.
and I'm gonna try. I was gonna make banana bread, like banana nut bread, but with chocolate chips in it. And then I had this idea to instead make a banana cake with chocolate and espresso chip banana cake with peanut butter frosting. Chocolate, bananas, peanut butter. I mean,
I'm trying to eat rice and vegetables right now, motherfucker.
That sucks to be you.
Yeah, it does. It does. Hey, do you know Andromeda is going to hit the Milky Way?
What? Isn't Andromeda in the Milky Way?
Andromeda is a galaxy.
Oh, okay.
That's not how any of this
never
works.
mind.
I mean, eventually it will be. They're
gonna merge.
In about 1 billion years, the
Everybody
Andromeda
panic.
galaxy is gonna hit and basically like smash into the Milky Way galaxy. And apparently all of the excess gas in both galaxies will get turned into stars, or almost all of it. And when that happens, because it all basically destabilizes all the gaseous orbits and stuff.
Creates
and
a lot of heat.
No actual thing will hit any other actual thing statistically.
Yeah, there you go. Bubble Viz has a good plan there. I'm going to stay inside when Andromeda hits just to be safe.
That's smart. That's very smart. Muy smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that idea of massive objects hitting each other, not actually hitting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more space in your desktop, on the flat surface of your desktop. There's more space than matter there, which
that's
always
not
fascinates
a
me.
great analogy, because if you throw your head at your desk, that's called a head desk, and it will hurt. However,
okay, but
if you throw your Andromeda galaxy at your Milky Way galaxy, you get
right.
Blah, 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 blah.
There's also the very real chance, though, that if you throw your head at your desk, like several million iterations, you might at one point hit one where the molecules line up and your head passes through your desk.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that could happen.
That's not
probabilistically.
No, it's not.
It's possible.
No. You know what else is possible? Sasquatch.
Yeah, Sasquatch is probably much more possible than.
Yes, actually, significantly more probable than suddenly phasing your head through a desk.
Yeah,
yeah, that's not a thing. No one should listen to Craig about that one thing. Just about everything else.
Yeah, you put your chocolate in my peanut butter. You put your peanut butter in my chocolate. It's two great tastes that taste great together. That's also my favorite candy, by the way. Reese's Cups are Shiznit. That's my favorite.
Speaking of which,
Corey's gonna get mad now because he wants
you're fine.
Junk food.
The fact that I'm fat is not your fault.
Uh-oh. What is
simulation
happening?
Of galaxies forming.
Nice. It's a fluid. It reminds me of how fluids interact. Nice.
I think another galaxy comes in. Yes. Boom.
Holy shit.
That's more or less what it'll look like when they hit, and then eventually they just become one.
That's pretty sweet.
Right? And like presumably 2 supermassive black holes at the center of 2 galaxies smashing together is what caused the LIGO event. Unless you hate science and think black holes aren't real.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so the comet broke up.
Okay.
We will not get the bright light show that we were hoping for. I am a little concerned about where all the pieces are going.
Right?
I
mean, right. Presumably they're not going to break up with enough lateral momentum to change the orbit that much. Like they're all headed in the same direction.
Right.
But I could be wrong about that. That's just sort of my first pass at.
Yeah, not even sure.
All right, well, it's
very
snowing.
Jealous.
Oh, don't use Trump words, Casey. Come on. I fucking hate that, and it's not your fault.
I played Spore briefly.
Totally on me.
I didn't play very much. I enjoyed it briefly, but I don't think I could ever afford anything more than the free demo. So, but Spore is pretty cool, where you genetically evolve an organism from single cell. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Boba said by the time of the collision, we will be disembodied, super intelligent gamers. I mean, not all of us will be gamers, but yes.
Eugenia Debs, give me another moment. We had 10 inches today.
Vagina.
And that absolutely has to be where we end the show.
100%.
For sure. Oh, you have the out button today.
I do.
Sasquatch is real.
All hail, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.